Hey people, D-Man here, and today we are going to talk about Adventure Time Distant Lands once again. If you don't know, Adventure Time Distant Lands Episode 2 or Adventure Time Distant Lands Obsidian, that's what the episode's called, came out just on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? On Thursday? So about 2 or so days ago, it came out. I watched it. I made a review on it. It was awesome. My review was awesome. I'll leave a link to that in the description below just in case you want to go see it. But first, go watch the episode because it's super awesome. Just in case you haven't. I also made a theory on it on the upcoming episodes. Go watch that as well. That will be in the description below as well. It will be in the description below. So will the review. So my theory video and the review will be in the description below. But
just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, share this video, Twitter and Instagram down below.
Today I'm going to do another theory video. The first theory video I was just throwing out ideas and I was talking about how a certain dog might be dead. Now in this one I'm going to talk about what I actually think is going to happen in I think it's probably going to be the final episode because I think the next episode is going to be the Peppermint Butler episode. So I think the final episode is going to be Finn and Jake full on. And I will actually say in the Peppermint Butler episode, I think there is going to be a reference to Finn and Jake once again because it seems like in every single episode, by the end, there's always a reference. Like in BMO, you saw Finn and Jake's younger selves. And in Obsidian, spoiler alert real quick, you see Finn's older self with a tattoo of Jake for some odd reason. And he's also with Jake's great-granddaughter or granddaughter. We don't know at this point. It's all in my theory video, but you have to watch that to see. Link down below. But anyways, today we're going to talk about what I think the events of the episode is going to be. If I'm right, it's going to be hilarious and awesome. Okay, so first off, Peppermint Butler, it's going to end off with the Easter egg showcasing Finn or Jake or something of that sort. For sure, it's going to have one of those. It's had that for the whole entire series so far. But then the next episode, which I think is the Finn and Jake episode, this episode, okay, so this is how I think it's going to go down. Basically, Finn and Jake have separated for whatever reason. Maybe Jake wanted to go live with Lady, or maybe Finn has a girlfriend at this point. Who really knows? But for whatever reason, they have separated in life, and Jake might be getting older, and he might be getting to the age where he might pass away, you know? He might be getting to that age. But anyways, so Finn and Jake are separated. Now, we gotta get them back together somehow, and the perfect character to do that is the new character introduced in Obsidian. There's a new character that might or might not be, well, it's definitely one of Jake's kids. But is it his grandkids or his great-grandkids or his great-great-grandkids? We don't know at this point because all of Jake's kids age very fast. And I don't know how fast their grandkids age. Now, this grandkid reminds us a lot of the episode where we saw one of his grandkids and she was a skater girl. She reminds me of her, at least. I don't know if she reminds you of her. But she has a skateboard and she kind of looks like her. So I'm assuming it's either her older or her daughter. Now, what I'm thinking is that this episode is going to start off with her, probably his grandchild. I don't know if it's his grandchild or great-grandchild. I'm assuming it's his great-grandchild. I'm assuming that she is the skater girl's daughter. And it's going to start off with her hearing stories of how awesome her great uncle and her grandfather is this hearing stories about all their adventures and how just awesome they were and how badass they were and just how cool everything was. Like just hearing stories about all that, fighting the Ice King, fighting against Glob and against Morgulord, right? Morgulord? And against the Lich and all those cool things, and maybe even some stories we haven't heard of ourselves. Now, she's going to hear all this and be like, oh my goodness, I want to go on adventures with these guys. Which is going to lead her to seek out maybe Jake or maybe Finn, because I'm assuming Jake's going to be easier to find than Finn. Finn might be on like an adventure somewhere. And then when she finds Finn, she's going to find, or maybe she'll find Jake first, who knows. But then they're going to go on this epic adventure together. Epic quest, who knows what's going to happen in this quest, who knows. But she is going to be like a key factor to this. And at the end, okay, so they're going to go on an epic quest, probably slay some monsters, probably save some people. Who knows exactly what the quest is going to be, but it's probably going to have a main plot line, obviously. But it's going to be awesome, and she's going to be a part of it. And then at the end, I think one out of two things is going to happen. Okay, so my first theory is that Jake is going to say, hey, I am too old for this. I can't do this anymore. And Finn's going to be like, I know, buddy. We're brothers. Don't worry about it. And then his granddaughter, his great-granddaughter, I assume at this point, is going to come up and be like, oh, and she's going to be like, Finn's going to be like, hey, kid, let's roll. Because she's going to be like his apprentice or something like that. And she's going to be like, awesome. And they're going to be like, yeah, awesome. And they're going to go on adventures together. And it's going to be awesome. And since it's the last episode, we're probably going to get reminded of stuff that we probably missed and other stuff like that. But it's going to be awesome. It's going to be an awesome adventure. And then at the end, Finn is going to be like, hey, kid, you're with me. Let's go. It's going to be awesome. Now, the second outcome is that Jake dies. Now, I think by the time Obsidian comes out in the future, obviously because Finn is older, I think Jake has died. I don't know if they're actually going to show that on screen. Maybe Finn and this girl have to save Jake. Whoa, that's another thing entirely, right? What if this girl comes to Finn to save her grandpa, and Finn's just like, my brother, and he goes to save him? That would be awesome. Now that's another thought. Wouldn't that be cool? They go to save Jake, they eventually save him, maybe he ends up dying or not. But again, I do think he's either going to be like, hey, I'm too old, or he is going to pass away, or I don't know, maybe he'll be passed away beforehand, and it will kind of be like the adventure where they listen to their dad's hologram tapes, and Finn has to go on this adventure. Who knows at this point? That is another option, though. Like, Finn has to go on this adventure through Jake's holograms tapes, and he goes on this adventure, and he gets his great niece, I guess. And then he brings her along with him, and they have this awesome adventure. Now, this would be awesome. Any of these would be awesome. But at the end, I do think Jake is either going to be dead already, die, or be like, I'm too old and retire, and just live the rest of his days out with Lady Rainicorn. Maybe even having to be saved. Who knows? But I do think that this mystery girl in Obsidian is going to be a part of it. Now, is she going to be a big part of it where she brings them together? Or is she going to be like at the end where Finn's just like, hey kid, let's go out, let's go on adventures. Will we only like see her briefly at the end or something like that? I hope not. I hope we see her at the beginning and she's like the catalyst that brings us all together. That would be awesome. But I guess I'd be okay with her only being like a brief side character moment where we see her at the end. As long as they do it, great. But yeah, like there's so many possibilities, and just thinking about this mystery girl that we saw in Obsidian makes me think like she's definitely going to be a part of it somehow. And Jake is either going to retire, die, or maybe he's already dead. You know, there's so many possibilities. I don't think he's already dead, but that could be a possibility. But yeah, man, there's so many possibilities, and I can't wait to watch it. But who knows when it's coming out, right? I think BMO came out, and then like it took like another like 2-3 months for Obsidian to come out. So another few months, probably Peppermint Butler's story will come out, and then another few months after that, finally Finn and Jake's story will come out, and that will be probably the best one. Or close or tied with Obsidian, because Obsidian so far is the best one of the two. But yeah, all in all, pretty awesome. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell notification. Best way to keep my content. Link down below to those 2 videos I've already talked about, plus my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And as always, our friends, stay sane. Peace. Hey guys, this video is meant for all ages, although I do have videos meant for the older variety. Check out my channel to watch those. But since it's meant for all ages and YouTube doesn't have a button to click for all ages, they only have younger or older, I have to click the younger because some stupid stuff will happen if I don't. But that means some features are removed. Hopefully it still gets to everyone the same, young and old, but that's beside the point. That means comments are no longer there, but don't worry, I have a Twitter, so you can go down to the link below to my Twitter and comment on that, because there will be a tweet about this video. So yeah, go down there and go to my Twitter. Shadow, my baby, I love you so much. You're my baby, and you love to sleep in the bathtub. 'Cause you're a weirdo. Shadow, look over here, buddy. Look over here.